There are a lot of top 10 videos out there, mainly regarding bass fishing, some inshore fishing, not a surf fishing top 10 though. Have you ever wondered, what are the best surf fishing tips out there? Do you want to be more successful surf fishing in 2018? So these are my top 10 surf fishing tricks, tips, hacks, everything that's going to make you successful for surf fishing in 2018. But before we continue, if you're new to my channel and if you want to be elite all year round, you want to catch sheep's head, reds, shark, drum, trout, everything inshore, you want all the hot info on surf fishing, pure fishing, and everything, please click on the subscribe button and hit the bell notification for the latest updates, the latest video, and some of the hottest fishing in 2018. So here we go. At number 10, surgical tubing. I get asked this question about 10 or 15 times a month on my videos. Why do you have that rubber tube on your reel? This rubber tube here helps me grip my spool when my hands are wet. It helps me stop the spool and also prevents my thumb from getting completely just messed up and burned from the line spinning so fast. You can get this at Home Depot, Lowe's, at your local hardware store. It's only like $3. One of the best investments you can make. At number 9, we have the Breakaway Cannon. This is basically the equivalent of the rubber tubing for the conventional reels, except this is for your spinning reel. Basically, you wrap your line around the cannon and you cast off into the horizon without destroying your index finger, and this is especially helpful when it comes to casting heavier baits on the spinning. At number 8, we have shock leader. Shock leader is a very important detail when it comes to surf fishing. It gives you extra protection from sandbars, from sharks, and fish when fighting them. The shock leader is different from a top shot. The way it differs is that a shock leader is 10 yards on top of your braid or your mono. That's going to help you absorb the shock of a cast, break off, or anything. I connect both lines with an Albright knot. So what do you think so far about these tips? Do you have any tips for me? Let me know in the comments. Here's a quick opinionated tip. Did you know that today's lures are not meant to catch fish, but are meant to catch the angler's attention, to dig into your pocketbook? Stay woke. And at number 7, change your bearings. Changing your bearings is one of the most important things you can do in your surf fishing reel, especially conventional reels. If you want to cast further, have a smoother reel, change your bearings. Most bearings that come with the reels aren't worth a shit. They don't last as long. Some claim to be corrosion resistant ball bearings. They're not. I recommend ABEX 7 ceramic bearings for most reels. They're louder, but they're very durable and are very fast. At number 6, catch your own bait. Sure, the bait store has all kinds of baits. Most of the time they carry mullet, shad, shrimp, frozen crabs that are probably like 7 years old. Sure, it's convenient, but they only carry the bait that's going to profit them the most. Not exactly what the fish are eating at the exact day that you're fishing. This is the main reason why it's better to catch your own bait. Fish are always eating what's most abundant in the surf. By you catching your own bait, you are catching what is currently in the surf, and that's exactly what the fish are eating. At number 5, we have fish bites. This is a must. You always have to have this with you. The reason why is because this can make a difference between being skunked or catching some fish at least. A whiting, some croaker, slot reds, slot drum, something of that sort. This is the bait store's worst nightmare. You don't have to go to the bait store to buy anything once you have fish bites. This is always one of the best ways to catch prime bait as well. My go-to flavor is usually the pink shrimp or the clams. So at number 4, we have galvanized rod holders. I don't know how many videos I've seen on YouTube for many major YouTubers. They are surf fishing with plastic PVC pipe. They're digging a little hole and then packing in the PVC pipe. Don't do what they're doing. One day you'll get a huge bull red, a 50-incher, a 5-foot shark, a giant black drum. If you're using a PVC pipe, it's a 50-50 chance that you're gonna lose your gear. I lost one combo to a PVC pipe, and I've seen many of my friends, many people out of the beach, lose them. I've seen it all the time. Galvanized rod holders are the way to go. They're easy to anchor, they're strong, although they're more expensive, they offer you more security. You can get these at your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere they sell fencing supplies. And here we are at the top 3. The next 3 tips are among the best tips you can get. These will make your fishing trip. And number 3, apps. These 3 apps are some of the most important fishing apps you could use. It will help you find structure and explore different beaches. Number 1 is Google Maps. I use Google Maps a lot to scout new spots, to look for all the sandbars. When I go to different beaches, I use Google Maps aerial view to see where the sandbars are at, if there are any cuts that I could look at. I also use Google Maps to identify structural changes and as well find the next fishing spot. Another great app that you should definitely use next time you plan your fishing trip is Tides for Fishing. Tides for Fishing gives you the tides, the conditions, the solar calendar, gives you the moon phases, barometric pressure, wind direction, everything. This is the first thing I look at before I go fishing. Now, my favorite app is Magic Seaweed. Magic Seaweed allows me to foresee up to 15-16 days ahead to check the conditions: wind, temperature, barometric pressure, wind direction, current, everything. The reason I like Magic Seaweed the best is because Magic Seaweed is actually a cell phone app. Unlike Tides for Fishing, they should make a cell phone app, but they don't have one, which is why I use Magic Seaweed. Number 2, we have weather conditions. Every region has its specific weather patterns and conditions that affect the fishing. Familiarize yourself with the wind speeds, the wind directions. That has a very, very important effect on the fishing conditions. Familiarize yourself with barometric pressure. Rising pressures always trigger bites. Drastic drops in pressure trigger bites. Once the barometric pressure starts to stabilize, the bite slows down. Tides. Tides is also a very important factor in surf fishing. On a low tide, you want to fish the back ends of the deeper sandbars. On a high tide, you fish closer to the beach, wade guts or first guts or second guts. Once you intertwine these things together, you will eventually figure out the conditions, and every time you go out there and see these patterns, you will catch fish. At number 1, we have learn how to read the beach. This is the main difference between people that catch fish at the beach and who don't. Learning to read the beach is basically like learning how to read in general. Once you learn how to read the beach, you can basically fish anywhere in the world. Once you learn how the waves break, where they're breaking, where there's cuts, holes, and everything, that is going to show you where to cast. That's where the fish are at. Let me give you a brief example on here. So here's a Gulf Coast beach. Here you have the wade gut, which is where you acquire most of your bait. Mullet, shad, whiting, sand trout, the works. This first set of breaking waves is your first sandbar. This is where you stand to cast into that first trough or behind the second bar. Mistakes that can be very preventable once you learn how to read the beach is the mistake that many make. They cast their baits on the sandbar. They don't know where they're casting. Not knowing how to read the beach is basically like casting blindfolded. Most of the times you want to get your baits behind this first bar into this gut area right here. That's where all the fish are at. But see, every beach is different. In Texas, we have 3 different sandbars, 3 different troughs, and that's basically the basic beach structure here in Texas. Other regions are different though. Learn how to read the beach. There are a lot of very important and very, very detailed videos that'll teach you how to read the beach. So that's it. What do you think? I guarantee you that these 10 tips are going to make you a better surf angler. Guaranteed. You're going to catch fish after watching these videos for sure. Do you have any tips for me? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you disagree, comment as well. Let me know. I want to learn too. I want to learn your ways. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there.